In the part one of this video, I talked about getting transportation enough to take you to the venue of your event, and also in case you want to fix your vehicle or maintain it after the journey. So I talked about getting fuel of 30,000 naira for the for my car or vehicle when we were going. Please stay have in mind that this is a 3 days event. So we're supposed to go on Friday, stay there for that Friday, then overnight, we stay overnight, then resume for the next event, which is on Saturday. So it doesn't mean that I went with 30,000, I came back, then I went next morning and came back again. No, not like that. I went with 30,000 naira, I dropped the vehicle there, we were moving around within Shagam. Then on the second day, we did the second event before we came back to Lagos. Then we had a break in between, then we went for the third day event. Remember I told you that our silencer got spoiled, so we fixed our silencer at 12,000 naira in total, including paying the mechanic and panel beater. During preparation for this journey, I was afraid of what would happen to our spring rolls and samosa if we brought it along with us. We were supposed to do 100 guest small chops for that Friday, that is for the wake up, and 300 guest small chops for the event proper. For small chops vendor like myself, remember I always say you can freeze your spring rolls and samosa before going to the venue of your event. You just have to fry when you get there. That is exactly what I did for the first day. We took the 100 spring rolls and 100 samosa on Friday, and we also came with our 100 guest chicken. This would cater for our Friday event. For our 300 guest event, that's for the second day, we couldn't bring our chicken from Lagos. Remember, we are to use 3 cartons of chicken. I do not like doing what I cannot guarantee. For instance, now I cannot guarantee that the chicken will last first day and second day, so I didn't bring it. So I cannot guarantee that it was going to last from Lagos to Shagamu, so I didn't bring it, no matter how cheap it was, because it was at least 1,000 naira cheaper in Lagos. So my auntie, who sells frozen foods in Awolowo Market, Shagamu, sorted that part for me. She got the chicken for me, and we only had to marinate on Saturday morning, as against before, where we prefer to marinate our chicken a night before. But for our spring rolls and samosa, I had to send Tomiwa. Tomiwa is my very, very, very good staff. As you can see this video, he made majority of the videos. So that is why you need to have a dedicated staff, somebody helping you to do your social media, maybe your media, your videos or pictures. So shout out to Tomiwa, God bless you for me. So I had to send him back to Lagos, so he will help me bring the 300 spring rolls and 300 samosa the next morning. That next morning is the Saturday morning. So he went back on that Friday night, got back home to Lagos, stayed overnight. Very, very early in the morning, he brought the spring rolls and samosa back to Shagam. I could not risk it. The reason is because there was no adequate freezing system in Shagamu, as far as I am concerned, though, because I made my findings and there was no freezer for me to keep my chicken, my spring rolls and samosa a night before. If there was freezer, I would have even brought my own chicken also, but there was no freezer, so there's no point in me bringing chicken and bringing spring rolls and samosa on the day I didn't need it, so that it will not get spoiled or sour, because I'll be at risk of my spring rolls and samosa getting sour before I use it. That's why I didn't bring it. So I had to send somebody to bring it for me. So we wanted to fry fresh spring rolls and samosa only for the event, as we usually do for our clients. That is the reason why I didn't bring my spring rolls and samosa on that day. In your own case, you could ask that your spring rolls and samosa be way built to you, if it's possible for you to receive it early before you fry on that day. In a case where you have no choice, you can buy ice blocks and use it to freeze it before use. This means that you can bring your spring rolls and samosa along with yourself, then buy ice blocks. When you buy ice blocks, you put it in, you find a cooler bucket, big bucket, where you can put your spring rolls and samosa. Just place ice blocks on them. This can help you to preserve your spring rolls and samosa before you fry. In cases where you don't have anyone in that state to do anything for you, meaning you don't have anybody to help you to do anything before you get there, you can send a staff ahead to the area where the event will be holding. So they will help you prepare for the team before you arrive. That means they will go and get the nearest hotel, the nearest places to buy things. They will organize all those things for you before you come. So that is a way you can also achieve that. Some of us also prefer to roll our spring rolls and samosa at the venue. If it is something you want to do, you can go ahead and do it and do that. But me, as a person, I do not like doing that because personally, it destabilizes me, and I always like that we are all in good state of mind before the event. One thing I also made sure I did before leaving Lagos was that I made sure my car papers were in order. So because my car papers usually expire in September, majority of the papers expires in September, and as a person, I do not want anything that will interfere with my journey. I don't want to have road safety issue, last mile issue. I don't want to have any issue with any of these government agencies because they always look for every means to extort you. My plate numbers was also getting worn out because I think it is now defaced. So I applied for renewal of that plate number. So I thought I was going to be able to get new plate numbers before going to the event. This is a month and 3 weeks, and I have not still gotten plate numbers. This is Nigeria for you. So, but road safety officers don't want to know that one. Whether you have applied since, whether you have not applied since, they just want you to show up kuduru for them, especially if you don't have the receipts of the payments you made while waiting for your plate number. So these were things I made sure I put in place before going on the journey. I made sure my tires were good. Do your alignment before leaving Lagos or before leaving your place if you have your own private vehicle, because you don't want to be on the road and something happens and you put the life of you, yourself, your family, and your staff in jeopardy. So make sure you do alignment. If you do alignment, that is where they find out that some things are wrong with your vehicle that you can fix before going on your journey. Maybe I'm talking like this because me, I like to be thorough about everything I am doing. Then it was when I was in my alignment that they said something is wrong with my socket, my leakages. These were things around the tire. So I fixed those things. That was the part where you saw in the first part of this video where that guy was going under the vehicle. So that was in Lagos before, yeah, I think a day before going on the journey. So this is part 2 of the video. Watch out for part 3 of this video where we had enough dancing. This is the way keeping of the events. This is day one. It's day one. So after this, we retired to where we're supposed to rest before we start the next day's work. So you have to also prepare what everybody will eat. It's not the time for you to say shebe magbo, shebe you will collect money. Go and find what you eat. You need to take care of your staff. Take care of them. This is very, 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 very important. This is Finger Chops. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.